Let me briefly present what we do. We deal with the non-invasive muscle excitation assessment, and this means that we are non-invasive and a bit less problematic when it comes to playing with the parameters of the human body. I come from the Faculty of Electrical Engineering and Computer Science, so basically what we deal with is the electrical signals from the skeletal muscles. The muscles can be seen as biological amplifiers of the neural codes. They spread these codes across the human body, and they amplify them to the extent that they can be measured on the surface of the skin. If you can see, probably not due to the sharing, these are the arrays with which we measure the electrical activity on the surface of the skin, completely non-invasively. But the problem here is that several neurons, several hundreds of neurons contribute the information that is mixed together. And what we have come up in the last decade or so is a technique that decodes, demixes this information from the surface of the skin and allows you to see the individual neural codes. And once you do that, you can use these neural codes for advances in the feedback, in training and rehabilitation, for control of the prosthesis, in neurophysiological investigation, kinesiology, sports sciences, pathophysiological investigations, and many clinical investigations. So there are many applications that can follow out of this. And one crucial advantage of our technique is that it really sees a lot of neural codes. If you compare this to clinical intramuscular needle EMG, which sees only a few neural codes, we can see tens of neural codes. Our record currently is more than 70 neural codes from skeletal muscle. In this example, you can see 42 neural codes extracted from healthy muscle in static contraction. And just to give you an illustration what we can do with this kind of technology, I list here the neural codes extracted from 5 different motor systems. In the uppermost panel, there is neural codes, 7 neural codes of healthy individual. You can observe the regularity of these firings of these neural codes. Below it's a motor system affected by cerebral palsy, and you can see the huge changes that the cerebral palsy causes to the motor system. The same, but in a different way, is caused by stroke. Essential tremor, as one of the most common movement disorder, synchronizes these neural codes into these bursting activities. And the last one in the bottom, there are neural codes extracted from the transplanted nerve, so after the targeted muscle reinnervation. Another advantage of our technology is that we really pay attention to the strict quality control. We identify the accuracy of each and every extracted neural code, and this allows us for a really reliable estimation of the central nervous system parameters, as well as estimation of anatomic features of investigated muscles. And this leads to many different applications. Basically, we are a service for many groups in the world that deal with the functional assessment of the human motor system. Let me conclude by giving you an example of our recent activity. What we combined here is this information extraction technology and evoked potentials, so stimulated contractions. And in this case, we identified the neural codes during the transcranial magnetic stimulation of human cortex. And in this way, we connected all the major players in the motor system. So the cortex, the spine, the muscle, and we allow for a really objective assessment in many different scenarios. Since my time is very limited, let me just thank our founding agencies, and this concludes my presentation.